All right, here's the thing. KJP, Karine Jean-Pierre, yesterday announced that she left the Democratic Party. And she's writing a new book called Independent, which is due to be published in October. This comes on the heels of Jake Tapper, who just wrote a book called Original Sin, where he pretends his Dartmouth education somehow didn't lead him to see what 75% of the public knew prior to that debate, which was that Joe Biden was a bit too old to serve as the lead of the Democratic Party. This is on the heels of Joe Biden somehow being diagnosed with late-stage prostate cancer, which was somehow completely missed by some of the finest doctors in the world because apparently they didn't test him for this because he was a bit too old. I guess my question to you, Tom, is now that all these insiders and these prestigious news anchors are coming out, they're doing a complete 180 to the propaganda they were spewing throughout the campaign. Does any part of you feel a way about that? That these people who had the podium, microphones, and these big outlets were saying things that they now, they're doing a 180 months after the election. Do you feel a way about that? That your inputs either missed something or are now trying to say that it's other people's fault, the other people lied, the other people misled, the other people were misinforming. I'm the good guy. Does any part of you feel a way about that coming out of these Democratic players?
No. First of all, I think that the move from being a Democrat to an independent was.
I don't think she declared anything, but that's
no. She declared it. She was an independent. Yeah,
she did.
She said, "I'm going to be an independent." She's not going to be a Republican. She said, "I'm going to be an independent."
I have no idea.
And
they wouldn't accept her anyway.
I think it's a brilliant. PR move for her.
It is.
I think it's a great PR move
because it puts her in the news.
Of course, she's writing a book.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a brilliant PR move. I don't think it was anything more than that. I think if you're writing a book called Independence, I think here's the problem with my colleagues on the right side, the magatards like you, is that you don't see the obvious right in front of you. Like there's
she's
writing, flip-flopping is such a
she's writing a book called Independence. She goes to be an independent. She jumps to the independent party so that she gets an unbelievable amount of press about her book. It's freaking brilliant.
So exploiting a position is good for
what position? She's a writer.
Gain?
She's an independent writer. She works for herself.
Yeah, but she didn't talk about a book, how good a book is, and the things she's going to expose.
That's exactly what she talked about. Is that she's becoming independent so she can write a book.
To get the call, she had to say, "I'm not going to be a Democrat anymore." Kind of beat the switch.
Stop yourself, okay? All you little, like whatever you guys think.
Little, can we be big? I'd like to be big.
You're little. You're shallow. And listen,
and
when you want to talk about, hold on. You got your. I let you have your chance, and I love when you sit there and go, well, these guys they didn't recognize the prostate cancer diagnosis and all these doctors, and yet you have all these doctors examining Trump, and you can't recognize the.
Hey, his wife was a doctor.
The obvious mental decline and dementia setting in on that man, let alone everything else they say about him. I mean, come on, Victor. This is ridiculous. You're just playing like public politics, and it's sad and embarrassing. You know what? We end up with, and we don't sit there and talk about I'm not sitting here yakking about how bad and how gutless every single spokesperson is on the Republican side. I'm just sitting here
You don't think that's what you're doing?
I'm enjoying the ride.
On your podcast,
I'm enjoying the fun. I like watching it. It's a comedy show.
Democratic Party's comedy show?
No.
Oh, so, sorry. I thought that's
what I was trying to do is help you out with the full name of the book. The full name of the book is actually called Independent, a look inside a broken White House outside the party lines. That would have probably been
all they wanted was PR. And if you could show me how to do that PR to get Tasty on the map, if I could declare that everything in the world, if I'm no longer Tasty, to get us on the map, I would do it too.
Secondly,
sold.
What my colleague on the left perhaps misses in the whataboutism that he threw back at me in his response is that I'm actually a lifelong member of my colleague's party, and I became so frustrated of what was so clearly obvious to me, that there was no one there who was calling a spade, and the spade was simply, we need to have a primary.
Really? And you're telling me that at this point now, like, I love the way all you guys look backwards, and everything is like looking backwards. All you've got is backwards looking stuff. But if you look forward right now, you can't see what's happening right in front of you. That doesn't disturb you even more. That's scary. You got to open your eyes, look forward, and stop using the eyes in the back of your head looking backwards, because that is a lame way to go through life. It's depressing me. You are depressing me looking backwards, as that's your lens. Look forward and look at what's right in front of you, and look what's happening right now. That should be the scary part.
But you also just admitted that you could do anything you want to better yourself. It's okay to do that.
So the way I look at the world, Tom, is through a growth mindset, which means the way I look at the world is through a growth mindset. If I have a failure at something, I don't just go forward. I go, what happened?
What are you a failure at? What are you a failure at?
What you're saying is that reviewing things that are in the past is a waste of time. I'm telling you, it's reviewing things in the past are a way to strengthen your inputs, who you listen to, who you don't, how you perceive information. And I was just curious.
I have no problem with that, but dwelling on stuff that's in the past and talking about that as you're making that your point, and I don't get it. You're dwelling on it. You're not. If you want to use something that's happened in the past, change the way you look at the future, go right ahead. But don't dwell on it and just talk about it. Don't make it that the subject matter.
I guess what I'm saying is you and I had spirited conversations on these topics in the past.
Yeah.
You had a very strong opinion that ran counter to mine as well as Tony's. And history is proving our opinions right in a few of these areas.
I could not disagree.
If you could not disagree the time to reflect on that.
I could not disagree more. History will not be kind to you and your people, Tony. The way you guys,
I'm not even political. I just like to take the other side.
History will not
sometimes
be kind.
Each side is
you're more political than you think.
No, each side is in hindsight, so extreme, Tom, and there's a good middle ground.
In hindsight, do you think you should have advocated? Do you think you should have dropped the threat to democracy rhetoric? And do you think you should have, instead of championed the Democratic Party having an honest primary? If you could go back, is that the message you would have spread at that time?
Listen, there are certain circumstances that happened at the time that I don't think you can, again, you're looking back at it and you're saying, oh, well, what could we have done, X amount of months ago or year and a half ago, whatever it is. You don't know.
Do you like Elon now that he doesn't like the big, beautiful bill?
Do you see me buying a Tesla now?
Well, you'd have to. I'd love to see a reverse scalp it like that. But
do you like the big, beautiful bill, Tom?
Do I like the big, beautiful bill? I'm insulted that you even call it a big, beautiful bill. It's the biggest piece of shit legislation I've ever seen in my life.
Name.
So does that answer your question?
I'm just calling it by its name.
It's a legislative, it's the largest legislative transfer of wealth from poor people to rich people. It's a disgusting bill that serves no purpose at all in this in the era that we live in now. It's disgusting. And I don't like it my dislike of it has nothing to do for the reasons that Elon dislikes it. Nothing.